I bought this on Amazon. However, it is shipped from Russia. It is a Russian, German-made device from Dr. VOLL. So it comes in this case, and so you would take it out. The case is kind of busted because it's just plastic, so that kind of broke on the inside, but that's okay. You don't really use that. Comes with a little English manual, and then it comes with a color Russian manual. The words actually here mean Deka VOLL. This is the brand, so this is in Russian. It says Deka VOLL. And what this means underneath is it is an oh gosh, I looked it up. Let me see what it says. Electroacupuncture. Let me see. Device for electroacupuncture diagnostics. That's what this means on the bottom. Okay? So it means it's the brand Deka VOLL, and then it's device for electroacupuncture. It's a diagnostic tool. Okay? So this reads the body. Okay. And it also tells you if you're sensitive. If I'm using this on anybody else, I have to wear cotton gloves so that I don't have my own energy field touching their hand. So this was a client's hand. The minute I touch it with bare skin, I'm entered into that circuit. I don't want my readings to be part of theirs. So I would wear just cotton gloves, but since I'm working on myself, I don't need those. So you have a hollow. This is a hollow tube, and this is called, the one that you hook up is called a passive electrode. Okay, it's this one here. It's got two little holes in the bottom, and you put your little alligator clip that it comes with in the little hole to hold it tight. I found that if you just clipped it here, it would fall off. So they do provide a nice little hole that goes up there, and it's clipped on. It's secured tightly. This is your hollow tube. It's a hollow electrode, and this you keep in the proximity of yourself if you want to test the things that you might be sensitive to. Okay, we're not going to use that just yet. This here is your active electrode that touches the skin. Okay, it's just, you can see the point on it. Gosh, I don't know if you can see that. It can hurt if you just kind of stab yourself, but you don't want to do that because you don't want to go aggressive, because you're going to drive up, it's like you're injuring the skin, the tissues, so it's going to, the value is going to go up higher than just reading the organ and what's going on there. So you don't, and so that was a mistake that I made when I first got it. I, of course, using this is a lot like you can read the manual, you can watch all the videos about it, but and it's like riding a bike. You can read how to do it, but until you're actually got this in hand and you're practicing, everything that you're reading is not really going to make any sense. It truly isn't. It's like when you ride a bike, there has to be many other things that you're aware of, like how fast do you pedal, right? You're only going to get that by a feeling of, oh, when I pedal this, it goes this speed, how to stop the bike, how to have awareness to what's around you. You don't learn that by reading a book. Okay? So the same thing with this. they said when I was reading like the couple training videos that are online, I did find 2 really good ones. However, they're also using a computer software to explain the results, and that's thousands of dollars. This is a newer model just in the last few years, and you don't need a computer software, but you do need to know how to interpret. So I've been doing a lot of that. So what you are measuring, it's called control measure points. Dr. Voll, he is the one who created all this, and I think it was even back in the 1940s. And they are control measure points that are located. There's 40 of them. There's 10 on the left hand. There's 10 on the right hand. There's 10 on the toes, and there's 10 on the other toes. So you have 10 on, so there's 40, right? 2 hands, 2 feet. What you're measuring on those is points that are above the knuckle, okay? And there's a very specific point that you touch, and this will let you know. So that point is attached to certain organs. For instance, your lymph nodes are found on the thumb, okay? On the inner thumb is the lung, large intestine. Your nervous system is located here where you can touch, and it gets a whole reading of the nervous system. Your circulation would be on the middle finger, and your allergy point is on the other side of the middle finger. Your organ degeneration, if a part of an organ of your body is degenerating, that is on your ring finger. Your endocrine, and I believe your pancreas is located here. On your baby finger, your heart. Now that is down below the knuckle line. That's the heart. And on the other side is your small intestine, which has to do with a lot of your digestion and candida and things like that. Now on your right hand, or on your feet, so if you look in the manual, so there's on the toes as well, you've got different, where's my glasses? There they are. You can check your kidneys, your pancreas, your liver, the joints. So all in these points on either side of the toes and on either side of the fingers, okay, that's located above the knuckle, except for the heart one. So all the top of the toes and a couple here is going to be your skin, scars, your gallbladder, your kidney. You can also use your kidney 3-point to check your kidney, your prostate, urethra, your uterus, your stomach, celiac plexus, okay? So all of this, your cardioplexus, your pulmonary valve, your duodenum, this is number 15, so that would be on your pinky finger. That's any stomach issues. Your cardiac plexus is your heart. Your mesenteric plexus is your digestive system, also on your pinky finger. Your cervical ganglia is your nerve signals. Your arteries is your circulation point. Okay, so you can check your lumbar, sacral parts of the spinal cord. There's so much that you can check. I don't know if you were seeing that. And you can manually test, massage those points as well. So you know those little acupressure rings? Let me see. I'll show you, because anybody can do this. Hold on. Of course, I can't find it. Hold on. You know what I mean by the... Here we are. Sorry. You know what I mean by the little prickly rings that you get in little health stores. They look like this, Okay. They will only fit over the finger and they hurt. They're too small to fit over the toes. But you can, if you know where those control measure points are that you need to activate, you can roll this down on your finger right to your middle joint, right to your knuckle. And you're going to want to just activate that point. Like say your circulation or you say your nervous system, you would do your pointer finger and you would just roll that for about a minute. And that is going to stimulate your nervous system. It's amazing. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing to have these. And they're so cheap, you guys. They're little spiky rings. You can find them in any health food store, any Chinese store, on Amazon. I think I got a package of 10 and you stimulate. Now they, like I said, they won't work for the toes, but what works for the toes would be like a tuning fork, especially if you have a tuning fork with the little point on it, the little attachment, and 128 hertz, you can stimulate the parts of the feet that is going to activate that point. Anyways, there's things you can do, even taping with medical tape, paper tape, a fenugreek seed while you're sleeping to these points. If they're low, you can stimulate through the skin a little fenugreek seed or a black peppercorn seed. And it will stimulate. It's just got that amount of pressure, and you tape it on with paper tape and leave it. That's great for the toes. The toes has all like your organs, like your kidneys and stuff. Anyways, I'm getting way far ahead of myself. So what I found when I first got this, when I used it, I didn't have the right setup. So you can't cross your legs. You can't just sit here with, one hand over the other. You can't cross your legs. You need to just have something cotton on. You don't want to have anything that's going to create static on you. And then you'll go. So when I first tested my points, they were all showing in such low values. And I thought there is no way that is correct. I thought about returning the device. And then the next day, I checked all my points and they were up in the normal range. What created that? Stimulating the act of testing my own control measurement points for each meridian. The fact that I was pressing on that was stimulating that energy pathway. So when I went to test the next day, I had stimulated my points enough that it brought my readings up that were stagnant. So interesting, you guys. So I'm just going to check one point. Let me turn this on and put my device on do not disturb for a minute. And we're going to make sure it goes up to at least 60. That means my batteries are good. So you got to spray your hand. You want to use spring water, not distilled water. Okay. Use a spring water. We have ground fed spring water that comes out of our taps. We're very fortunate for that. So I can use that to fill up a spray bottle, but you don't want to have dry hands. You don't want to have soaking wet hands, but you do want to have hands that are damp. So if I'm doing it on myself, I would hold the electrode, the damp electrode, around in my hand. Okay, around in my hand. And I have to hold the pen in my hand the same time, and I'm going to test on the opposite hand. Now, if if I was giving this to somebody else, they would hold it. I would test in their opposite hand. Okay. But I can't have this touching the brass at all. So what I do, okay, if I want to check let's just check the points on my nervous or my large intestine. So you kind of you can't just, if I just go on, you watch this. If I literally just press super hard and press right into it super hard, it's going to go up. It went up to 70. That's because I'm pressing way too hard. You don't do that. You're going to press gently. You're going to press gently, gently, and you're going to hold it there. And you want it to be right in that area. It's at like a 55. You want it to be between 50 and say 58. That would be for this device, not the old software computer device, but for this device, you want it to be, it's around 50 to 60 max. So, but you can have a false score if you go in and you're traumatizing that skin tissue. Let's check my nervous system. So that would be here. And the point, it's always right up against the bone. So it's alongside of the bone. And again, I have my dolphin neurostem that if I need to find the point, I can find it and then I can put a little mark there as well. So I know I'm right on that point. So I got to make sure everything is still good here. And what am I checking again? My nervous system. So it's right above my knuckle. Make sure this is not, you don't want anything dripping off of it, but you do want it to be wet. So if I just press my nervous system, I'm going to watch that go up. And it's at 52, which is really good. You need to hold it there. You don't want much of an indicator drop below 50. So you always hold it there for about 10 seconds to make sure it's not going to hit there and drop rapidly back. Like when I take my wand off of my skin, it's going to drop to 0 because there's no contact, right? But we always want to get it up in the 50 to 60 range, and we're looking for an indicator drop because that tells us a lot about the organ. It's the indicator drop that's really going to let you know the pathology of that energy pathway. So my circular, oh yeah, I wanted to do the allergy point. So let's check, let's just get a baseline for my allergy point. So I can see it's about 58. Now, what if I introduced sugar into my energy fields? Okay, I just put a vial of sugar in there. So what did we say it was? What was it, 58? We'll just see if the sugar does anything. So we're going to press here. So do you see where the sugar, look at that. It's almost at, like it went to 80. It went to like 78, the presence of sugar. That means sugar stresses my body too much excitement. My body doesn't do well. It's stressing the organs out. So if I go back, massage that part to kind of bring it back into normalcy, okay? And I'm going to press that allergy point again without the sugar there. And you can see it's in a normal value, okay? So sugar isn't good for me. Now, here is Tylenol. I got a Tylenol right here. And I'm just going to place that right inside and test the allergy point again and just see where it goes with Tylenol. Look at that. You see that? It's like at 72. It's at 72. Let's get rid of that Tylenol. I don't want it on my skin. Let's get rid of that and massage it to come back to normalcy. Let's see, let's check. Yeah, it's going to take a little bit probably. They said to always test it around 3 times, especially when you're re-hitting that point. But eventually, and it could take a little while, it'll go back down. It won't be so high. Check it again. There, it's all ready. And I'm pressing, like I am pressing. Like you can see where it's made an indentation. I don't know if you can see that. So, yeah. And you want to hold it. So you always want to be between 50 and 60. Isn't that interesting? What if I